Hello guys, this is IDQ, and in this video we'll go over why comebacks happen and how to actually just come back from a game.
If you like this type of content, go to gamersclass.com. For just $9.99 a month, watch masterclasses with pro players, join exclusive live sessions, and get 24/7 access to coaches and other high MMR players. Get full control of your ranked games and start owning with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
This game was playing Doom. Game didn't really go that well. If you can see, I'm skipping ahead. Enemies have around, I don't know, 70, 80 something percent win rate probability right here. It will get one point where it's going to be, yeah, so somewhere like here. It's going to get for 100%. Yep, right here. This moment the enemies had like 99% probability to win. It's gonna go up a bit more. So, as you can see, we just got owned. They killed everyone in my team, including me. I was playing Doom, obviously. Rubik is most likely going to die here. Actually, no, but either way, it's not going great. We cannot really stop anti-mage from farming, and everyone knows that anti-mage free farming is not good to win the game. But this is the first thing why comebacks happen. This would be the main one. Is that only one of the opponent's hero is an issue. And since that hero has timings and when he's strong, when he's not strong, basically the time where he's strong or when he's not strong. Anti-mage is not so strong in the late game, ultra late game I mean. For example, let's compare it to anyone, even to my hero. I can simply doom him. The issue is that I can't really do it because he has a counter spell and is going to buy a Lincoln Sphere. So as you can see, they have like 99%, 98% win probability. It's not going great. So this is the first reason why comebacks happen. Because only one of the enemy heroes is the issue. So if we deal with this anti-mage, we will actually stand a chance to win. Because Enchantress as a hero doesn't do that much. I mean, yeah, you can throw impetus out, but that's about it. You're not healing your teammates in teamfights that well, because that means that you're grouped up together. So let's say paralyzing cast hits 2 people, my stomp hits 2 people or something like that. So this guy is not useful, not that useful. Nature's Prophet support, he has Solar Chris drums. If I go on this guy, he most likely is going to die. He won't have any impact in a team fight. Slardar has a PKB, whatever, is pretty strong. But when I get the Lotus, which is actually what I'm going for right now, his ultimate won't matter. So without ultimate, he has no damage. Ember Spirit, same. Lotus Orb just dispels the Searing Chains. They have no stuns besides that. So this is the main idea that this is the first idea why a comeback happens. Second is obviously the wording. Fighting under words, because it's a lot easier to control an area of the map that is smaller. If the map is open, it's like, let's say 50-50, it's a lot harder to have words everywhere. But if you're just sort of forced to just sit in your jungle, for example like here, we can place wards and just fight defensively under wards, because we know that the opponents won't have wards there. Because it's a lot easier to control an area because of, if it's a restricted area. You can't really control the whole map, but you can control the ancients very easily, this area, right? Do one ward here, and that's about it. So that's another reason why this happens. It's simply because the area of vision and control is getting smaller for you, especially in the base. It's a lot easier to control the base, to defend the base and stuff like that, since the opponents can only have like two words here basically, or here. Sometimes you can actually put word like here. I can't really ping for some reason. Here, and it might not be in the tower vision, or here, or not here, I guess. But there are some few spots where you can put, but mainly this is the two main ones, here and here. So it's a lot easier to control this, and it's a lot harder to push high ground and siege high ground because of the glyph and stuff like that. The tower damage, tower regen, tower armor bonus that it gives. As you can see, armor of nearby. Friendly heroes increased, and yeah, even HP is increased by a bit. So it's a lot easier to defend the high ground and just an area. So as you can see, I believe this is one of the moments where we try to make a comeback, or is getting to be a bit better. Okay, so as you can see, Slardar went in, killed 2 supports instantly with the BKB usage. And in return, I went on Nature's Prophet, and then this guy's going to die also. And we have 3 heroes that are clumped together. So this guy zone out sort of because he has no BKB. And we only need to deal with anti-mage. So I don't use my Doom, which is exactly what I meant before. Only one hero is important in the enemy team, and if we deal with him with items or our heroes get stronger than him in the late game or something like that, only one hero matters in the opponent's team, usually, or in this case. And that also means that every mistake that anti-mage makes in this game, or the enemy hero that's super strong, gets amplified to his teammates. If anti-mage joins the teamfight and the teamfight is wrong, I mean it's bad, and he dies, his whole team is going to die most likely, and they will lose the whole map control just because of an AM dying once. So every mistake that the opponent carry, the strongest hero in the opponent team makes, is going to get amplified a lot. As you can see, Nature's Prophet bought back, so they lost a bit of gold, and now it's 95%. This guy jumps me, I instantly BKB, I kept my BKB. I know that only anti-mage is important. I had no reason to BKB before. Now I can just doom this guy. I save my spell, I just focus anti-mage. This is all that I have to do in this game. I don't care if I die to this guy. I don't care about me dying or anything, as long as anti-mage is dead, which is exactly what happens. And because of this, as you can see, game is still going for like 20 minutes. But because of this, we're able to make a bit of a comeback. We take a Roshan or something like that. You see this graph for like 99% to, I don't know, 70 to 85, something like that. And it still keeps going like this. They still have the advantage. But because I am able to buy some items, and Gyro's buying items that are only suited for anti-mage, and sort of, my Lotus Orb is obviously good against Slardar and Ember Spirit. I'm trying to counter sort of more of them, but I'm also helping my Gyrocopter in the 1v1 matchup with anti-mage because of the Slardar Manis armor, which is exactly why I bought it, and the Ember Spirit changed. But as you can see, Gyrocopter skip the BKB. Usually you want to get a BKB on the carry, but since this is sort of 1v1 with anti-mage, he went for Daedalus, Eggs, Satanic Butterfly, just so he can help, man up with this anti-mage, which is, very, very strong on anti-mage. But, yeah. Let's keep our hand a little bit more, and, as you can see, it's getting better, because only anti-mage matters, and anti-mage can't really go for a Abyssal Blade, he doesn't really have the gold and stuff. So yeah, as long as we deal with just one important enemy hero, we're going to be okay. And as you can see, I'm going for a Halberd. I didn't end up buying Halberd because I wanted buyback, and as you can see, my teammates are pushing, so I wanted to have the option to put a travel TP in after buyback, but I was going to get a Halberd so I can just break his Riken and ultimate him. It's super important. This is the only thing that we're missing in this draft, basically. And I end up buybacking, Gyrocopter dies, anti-mage is going to die back, or one enemy hero, and then we will end up winning just because of this. So we're sort of outscaling the opponents in this game. This game right here, because the opponents didn't give up, and they were still trying a lot, they actually sort of gave my team the opportunity to ruin the game, which is exactly what they did. Obviously, I don't mean that the opponents are going to ruin the game if you never give up or something like that, but that's super important idea, to never give up, because the game is simply not over until the throne falls, and it's simple as that. For some reason, I really don't like when people give up. Right now I haven't really seen people give up that much. However, in the past it used to be just shadow amulets and everything, but right now it's a lot better, at least in my bracket. But it's simply very annoying when people give up. The game is not over until the throne is down or all 5 people give up. If one guy simply still tries, which is sort of what happened in this game, one guy still tried and was super strong and stuff like that, you can still win the game. So what happened is, not right now, but we're going Roche, it doesn't really matter. And then my Faceless Void, even though we're winning, game is 100% over, as you can see right here, 100% over for like 5 minutes. We just needed to go push, we got Aegis, my Faceless Void decides to break his items. If the opponents gave up before this, they wouldn't have won. But since he destroyed his items, we're going to lose. minute 27 he destroys his items. Game was still favorable for us. We had 21,000, 20k thousand gold advantage. 20 minutes later, after my phases were destroys items, we're hitting the thrones and stuff like that. So, you know, it simply never give up. This guy, because he never gave up on Morphling, he got the opportunity to win the game for his team. Even though, you know, it took him 30 minutes to win 4v5, he still won the game. Just simply because he never gave up. And that's actually what my name means, sort of. IDQ, I don't quit, you know. The first letters, you know, abbreviation, I believe it's called. So, yeah. Another thing would be that it's a lot harder to win games that you think that they're easy. Just think about doing something that's very easy, or that should be very easy, but then turns out to be a lot harder. So, for example, let's say you think it's easy to do 20 push-ups or whatever, something like that. However, if you find it harder at 15 or 10 push-ups that you might have thought that it was going to be, you know, you're gonna struggle to do 20 or whatever your goal was. It's simply going to get a lot harder to do a thing that you imagine that it is easy. So for example, in any game, if you think, oh, I'm playing anti-mage or whatever, something like that, an example that everyone could that instead. I'm playing anti-mage versus, you know, Storm Spirit, Takey, Slash Rock, Zeus, and another intelligence range here that doesn't do anything to AM. And you struggle to finish the game, and you struggle to win, your lanes are losing, you might have doubt in your mind, right? Oh, shit, we might lose. Damn, the game's not as easy. So then you're sort of, or your enemies, it depends who's playing, in which case, if they have difficulties ending the game, or, you know, the game being harder than they actually think it would be, it's going to get a lot more frustrating for them to play, and they simply will make more mistakes. This is another reason why comebacks happen. It's simply because one team sort of thinks that the game is over, and they check out mentally, sort of. And then since the opponents are still connected to the game, they're still trying, they won't really make mistakes, they're actually giving their best. You know, sometimes it happened to me also, and I will actually show an example of that. Even though the game was over, the opponents even sort of gave up, but then I was playing out of position simply because I thought they were giving up. But I ended up dying. You know, that's another very important reason why comebacks happen. It's simply because one team thinks that the game is over when the opponents are actually still trying, or thinks that, oh, they have no chance, even though they have a very slim chance of it happening. Sort of like in this game, as I showed you, the game is still almost 100% over, even without my carry playing, and just because of that slim chance, we end up losing still. Okay, so this is the example of what I was talking before, that you know, sometimes you make mistakes because you think that the game is over, just like I did in this game. So I was hitting tier 3 before, as I've shown, and nobody was defending it basically, and I was, you know, creep skipping or whatever. I was hitting this tier 3 soon with creeps, so I knew that it wasn't defended, so I simply thought the opponents gave up. We have 16,000 gold advantage, 24 minutes in. I just got a rampage. As you can see, I'm hitting this tower, you know, I got 20% HP, nobody's coming. Simply it looked like they gave up. That's what it looked like for me. They were actually smoking and trying to play, and I thought the game is over, to be honest. As you can see, I'm so farmed for 25 minutes in. They had no chance, however they just ganked me right here, and I end up dying. Even though my teammates were rushing, I could have been rushing with them, taking a rush. But, you know, I thought the game is over. So if the game was a lot closer, I wouldn't have done this mistake ever. I simply thought that the game is over. But since, you know, my opponents gave the impression that they gave up, I made a mistake. And if the game wasn't as close, you know, they might have had a chance to come back. Obviously, they can't really come back, especially not versus me playing anti-mage, to be honest. As this is one of my best, but you know, it's very hard to come back against anti-mage. Even though I just shown, whenever I just shown someone, I mean us comebacking against an anti-mage, that was because the anti-mage fucked up. His item build was a bit wrong, and that's also another really important reason why people come back. It's simply because they're trolling with their item builds or not really understanding their item builds. If you made a mistake, you make a mistake in the item build, and the opponents have something better to do. For example, Yeah, we're actually going to go back to that game, and I'm gonna talk a bit about the item build of the anti-mage or in any game, but you should sort of try to translate that in your games and actually sort of think about what your mistakes are doing, because I can't really point them out since I don't have millions of games in front of me that I could watch, but I know in general what people make, you know, what types of mistake they make in general. So let's go over to that game again, and we will see what I can find out there. Okay, so I'll start the video sort of a bit faster in the timing. As you see, 19 minutes. This guy instantly buys back. This is another thing that, you know, happened in the game, but I didn't mention it before. This guy just chose to buy back, you know, sort of ruined the game. Even though he was like very farmed and stuff like that, the game is 50-50, and then he buys back, goes in, dies again, gave me 75%, you know, even more, and stuff like that. So I got a lot more complicated because of the, you know, rage buyback and stuff like that. This game was, I believe, highly varied. I know I get like 2 games like that a day, maybe 3, even I have like 10,000 behavior score. So yeah, it's really annoying when this happens. But as I said, we will go over the items. If someone fucks up their item build in a game, you could capitalize on it. So anti-mage in this game is going for Skadi right now, which most likely I would have also went for Skadi, I believe. However, if I were in his position and I knew that only Doom can, you know, mess with me, and only because of Doom I can lose, because I get Doom, then my teammates, you know, fall over, because only I'm the strongest hero, the rest are not so farm. Even though the graph looks like this, if anti-mage is not in the game, as I said before, if I just Doom this guy, the graph would be like here or whatever. So that's why he should have went for a Lincoln Sphere if he intended to do this. If, you know, he just knew that he has to sort of win alone, which is what should have happened in this game. Anti-mage would have won alone. I would have won alone if I was playing this engine 100%. I would have got the shard faster with the 20 exactly. I would have farmed a lot more. Even though, you know, they have 100% win graph, it's because this guy rage bought back. There's nothing that AM did in this game. So, and afterwards, another thing that he messed up with the item build is that he didn't buy an Abyssal this game. For some reason, he chose to skip it. So yeah, that was my Doom on him, and he's dead and whatever. Then he chose to, you know, get a Lincoln Sphere afterwards. He bought a Lincoln Sphere. And then he's going to buy a Doom. He's going to buy a BKB. So I don't stun him or what? This is another very important thing. BKB doesn't help this game that much. But let's think about it this way. What magical damage do we have on Dire team? Call down? 350 damage? How does it matter versus anti-mage that has, you know, counter resistance? He has like, what? 58% magic resistance with low level 20 talent, so this doesn't matter. Rocket Barrage, does it matter versus anti-mage? No. Homing Missile, does it matter? No, because he has counter spell. So nothing from Gyrocopter helps. This guy spells, does it help that much versus anti-mage? He doesn't care about the damage. He shouldn't really care about the lift. It's 1.6 seconds, which is not much. But also he can counterspell it, so this doesn't matter also. This guy he can counterspell. It's 1 second duration, so he doesn't care about this. Doesn't really care about Melodic. This guy has zero magical damage. So only I can deal sort of magical damage to him with this, you know, Infernal Blade, War Stomp, and whatever, Doom. But Doom is pure, so it doesn't really matter. So it's basically just Infernal Blade, Scorch Earth, and War Stomp. So he's buying a 4,000 gold item for no reason. What I would have done if I was playing anti-mage is buy an Abyssal Blade, which seems like an obvious choice, right? I know why he didn't go for it. He probably would have won the game, I mean, most likely, but this is another thing that people fuck up, and that's why they lose their item build. That's why the opponents make a comeback. I went sort of the perfect item build, Lotus or Bike, explained BKB and stuff like that. Obvious. But since they made one mistake on this guy, I was able to come back. So if he went for Abyssal, he could instantly kill any support in the game, right? This guy's 1.9k HP, he has 0 armor. I mean, yeah, he has 15 armor somehow. But anti-mage doesn't care. He's simply that if he brings on him with if he blinks on him with Abyssal and then ults him, or doesn't even ult him, doesn't even need to ult him, he's dead. Same as this guy, 1.1k HP, he's dead. So he's actually using a lot of blinks to kill the support instead of just one blink and one Abyssal. But the main important part is that he, I guess, doesn't understand, is the fact that only I can initiate him. Right? Only Doom can initiate on anti-mage in our team. Bristleback doesn't have any initiation, no supports have initiation because they don't have any blinks or whatever, any long stuns, there's not a Rishik, there's not a line, there's no nothing. This guy can initiate. So because only I can initiate on him, if he initiates on me, Doom, I don't have any response to him. I'm not able to react to Abyssal Blade instantly because with Blacking Bar or Lotus Orb, unless I have vision of him. But let's say I don't have vision of him, he can buy a smoke. So if he instantly blinks on me and abyssals me and I'm dead at the beginning of the team fight, we simply lose the game. The team fight and then the game, the Roche, everything, you know, because my teammates don't do anything to anti-mage, only me with Doom and my disables, which is War Stomp and Inferno Blade. Let's not even talk about, you know, Slaughter actually following up the anti-mage abyssal. Anti-mage blinks in, abyssals me, and then Slaughter jumps in, stuns, ultimate or whatever. I'm 100% of the time dead. But since that doesn't happen because anti-mage doesn't have a blink, doesn't have an abyssal blade, we actually end up winning the game. Because abyssal blade is multi-purpose. You can initiate with it. It actually gives us a bit of tankiness because of the vanguard and also the strength that it gives. The vanguard, which is, you know, strength. Basher, that's what I meant. Basher also gives you some strength. As you can see, he blinked on top of Witch Doctor and took like 2 seconds to react. He was actually dead here if Gyrocopter was turning on him, which I was right now. If Gyrocopter just turned, I knew anti-mage doesn't have a shard, so you know, blink was coming up. But as you can see, I jump him, I stun him. He doesn't even notice me stunning him, and then he's 400 HP. It's going to be like 300 something. So Gyrocopter had to do 400 damage, and he has 400 damage with the Daedalus. He would have hit him. Anime was dead here, simply because he took too much time killing a Witch Doctor because he doesn't have a basher. And also no shard, so blink is on cooldown longer. So because of the opponent's itemization mistakes, also you are able to come back a lot faster. Also, as I was talking before, Abyssal Blade is a man fight item also. So this guy on Gyrocopter was able to survive a lot just because he's able to press Satanic. Let's watch one phase that happened. I mean, one instance where that happens. Not here. Let's say here, as you can see. He was really getting low, 1000 HP. Where's anti-mage? Here. He doesn't have Basher. If he had it instead of Skadi, you know, Lincoln instead of Skadi, or after Lincoln, you know. I mean, no Skadi maybe. So if he had a Basher, you can Abyssal. I mean, you can hit this guy, and if he, you know, gets stunned by Abyssal, you don't heal. Only with the Flag Cannon, which is, you know, once per second or something like 1.2, instead of hitting 2 times per second. I mean, instead of hitting 3 times per second, he only hits once basically, which is not healing that much, and they would be able to burst him a lot more. And you know, since he rage bought back and stuff like that, we might have just lost because of that item build, which is again a super important thing, most likely one of the most important things. And this couples with the idea that I said before, because the game is longer than you would expect, it's harder than you would expect, the opponents might just get some clown items that, you know, oh, let me test, you know, Desolator or Anti-Mage or whatever, something like that, an item that you wouldn't usually go for. So yeah, that's another really good idea that you should be, you know, trying to focus on. That, okay, what itemization mistakes are my opponents doing? Because this guy, they only lost because of the itemization that he did. I mean, not really only because of that. You obviously, you know, I explained a bit later, but this is one of the main reasons why we lost. As I said, if I was playing this anti-mage, I would have never lost this game. Simply because the opponents have no stance for me, nothing. So it's really impossible to get caught if you have a blink, which you do, 4-second cooldown. So yeah, I could have split pushed more and stuff like that. But the main idea would be that one. As you can see right now. Like, look at this. Gyro has ages, yeah. However, let's say he did. So, anti-mage jumps in. You know. he was like 1000 HP with no mana. If he had a Abyssal, he was dead once, right there. And then you just wait 30 seconds for Abyssal or whatever the cooldown is, and then he dies again. And the game is very, very simple. You can do this over and over again. Especially if he would be split pushing bottom and one hero would be forced to TP there to defend. Such as me, because I have Boots of Travel, so I was already planning for that. You know, it's just a lot of multiple factors. But the main part is to never give up. You can make a comeback if you're Shadow Amulet, or if you simply AFK in the base. That simply won't happen. So the most important part is to never give up. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Have a nice day.